Schedule the Kansas City Chiefs or schedule the Yukon Huskies. Doesn't matter. Nebraska is going to lose the game by one score. Welcome to the voice of college football, just following Minnesota's win against the Huskers, 30-23 in the Twin Cities. Minnesota moves on to 5-2 overall. Nebraska now 3-5. All right, Scott Frost now leads the nation in one-score losses since he took over at Nebraska. Actually, he's led in that category for quite some time. He just keeps building on his lead. All right, Minnesota in the first half really ran an efficient offense in totaling 21 points against Nebraska. P.J. Fleck told the sideline reporter at halftime that he was pretty much giddy about the play calling for Minnesota under Mike Sanford, offensive coordinator for the Gophers. Tanner Morgan came into this game completing 52% of his passes. 52% of his passes against a good, solid Nebraska defense. 20 of 24. That was Tanner Morgan 2019. Also, consider that Minnesota was playing with its third-string running back. Mo Ibrahim, one of the best in the nation, of course, injured in the opener after tearing through Ohio State's run defense and scoring 15 touchdowns last year in just 7 games. One of the best in the nation. He goes down, replaced by Trey Potts. Trey Potts, over the past 3 games, has run for 145 yards per game. But he went down, unfortunately. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. Severe injury, undisclosed. We wish him the best. Bring in Bryce Williams. Now, Bryce Williams ran for over 500 yards for Minnesota in 2018. 2018. Since then, Bryce Williams has carried the ball, get this, since 2018. In 2019-20 and all of this season thus far, 9 times. But against Nebraska, 17 carries for $127. And then Chris Altman-Bell, who's been banged up this season, Minnesota's best receiver by far, 11 catches for 103 yards. On the Nebraska side, Adrian Martinez gave us an Adrian Martinez kind of game, the good and the bad, 18 of 33 passing. Austin Allen, tremendous Jimmy Graham kind of tight end, 5 catches for $121 and a touchdown. Samori Toure, supposed to be an NFL receiver. We've got our Huskers show here every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, and Greg Peterson tells us from Husker Online, who makes that show go, that Toure will be an NFL player, and we've heard that from other sources as well. 1 catch on this day for 1 yard. Curious but typical Nebraska sequence in the fourth quarter, trying to come back again. 21-9 at halftime. They had cut it to 21-16. All right. They drive it down the field with no issues. Get the ball inside the 5-yard line. Run 4 consecutive running plays. And I have no issue with running plays. You don't need to move the ball through the air to be creative. You can be creative in the running game. But 4 nondescript running plays inside the 5-yard line. 4 consecutive running plays. The last of which was Jacques Yant, the freshman, inexperienced, hasn't carried the ball much, excluding the 1 game against Northwestern. Really just not, at this stage of his career, the guy that I would think would be the reliable choice. Trips in the backfield after he gets the ball and comes up short. So they get stopped inside the 5-yard line on 4 consecutive plays. Give the ball to Yant on 4th down, the freshman. They come up empty. All right, they still get the stop on defense. So the defense does its job, does not give up a first down. They get the punt, and they're set up in great shape. First play of the drive. Martinez hits Austin Allen for 40 yards. They get down to the 15-yard line. So, boom, they're right back where they were pretty much instantly. First down at the 15. They run the ball then 3 consecutive times. No, let's make that, yes, 3 consecutive times, even on 3rd and 12. They obviously gave up and settled for the field goal. So they were down 21-16. So they needed 2 field goals, I guess, at some point, or a touchdown would have been great. 21-16, first down at the 15, 3 straight runs. Then on 3rd and 12, they run the ball with Yant. So that's an obvious situation in which, what are your chances of getting the first down? Basically 5% on 3rd and 12. And then they missed the field goal from Connor Culp from 27 yards away. The next drive, they move it 50 yards, and they go for it on 4th and 10. They went with a running play on 3rd and 12. They went for 8 yards. That set up 4th and 4. They kick the field goal but miss it. The next drive, they go for it, not on 4th and 4, but on 4th and 10, even though they had 7 minutes left in the game. What is the probability that Adrian Martinez, who completes a high percentage of passes, but the passing chart is behind the sticks and just beyond the line of scrimmage, is going to complete a pass for more than 10 yards on 4th and 10? And you know what happened? Minnesota again now, 4-2, 5-2 in the season. One loss in the Big Ten. They're 2-1 in the Big Ten. They've got Maryland coming up next week. The big game should be Iowa on the road. So Minnesota, despite them being under the radar, and of course Iowa's the number 2 team in the country, keep in mind that Minnesota's only lost 1 game in the conference. And if they can stay clean for the next couple of weeks, have a date with Iowa on the road to take on the Hawkeyes. Nebraska is 3-5. They're 1-4 in the Big Ten. Their season's done in regards to any kind of championship hopes, of course. But my goodness, to try to get to a bowl game, 3-5, Purdue, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa, to get to a bowl game. They're going to have to win 3 of those 4 games against Purdue, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. I said it last week during our Huskers live show. They would have to win this game against Minnesota. They would have to beat Minnesota and Purdue to get them to 5-4, set them up for a decent drive to get to a bowl game. That has not happened. Scott Frost is now 15-25 at Nebraska. He is 10-21 in the Big Ten. They have played so much better. They look like such a better football team against capable football teams. Within 1 score at Oklahoma against a team that might be playing in the college football playoffs. Outplayed Michigan State, but lost on a punt return, and then the interception in overtime. Outplayed Sparty on the road. Of course, the Michigan game. Led in the 4th quarter. Lost 32-29 to a really good Michigan team. But you got to finally win. You've got to finally beat a decent team. Under Scott Frost, Nebraska's best win in regards to beating a winning team, a 7-6 Minnesota team in 2018 in his first year. And that Minnesota team was 2-6 at the time and actually became a better team and a different team later in the season. Minnesota probably would have won the game later. So Nebraska just doesn't beat anybody that's any good. And that's where we stand on Nebraska football. Minnesota still has a chance, despite blowing that Bowling Green game out of conference, a chance to do something special and challenge Iowa in the Western Division. Your thoughts on Minnesota and Nebraska right here at the Voice of College Football. Hit that like button, subscribe here, and of course, hit that bell for the notifications to know when we go live.